Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right, I'm just going to take a second and get this shared out to the other pages. So go ahead and take over.
Yeah, it's Sunday night. My watch doesn't work, so I can't tell you what time. We're a little bit late because I wasn't done feeding Shadow his snack, and he was hungry, so I gave him his snack. So yeah, it's been a few weeks. So got some things to share, and some good and some bad, and yeah. Tomorrow we both have teacher and service days, so no kids tomorrow.
No kids.
So, yeah.
I have some trainings to do. What do you have going? What are you
I got
doing?
some trainings to do as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what we do on service days, if anybody wondered.
And the junior high football practice will be a little bit later because the kids aren't going right from school, so the parents can't get them there at 3:30. So we're gonna go a little bit later with practice.
That's nice to do that for the parents.
Yeah.
Just FYI. I don't know if you do that all the time, but
We usually do. If the kids don't have school, we have it later so that they can get there.
yeah. All right. So we are good to go here. I can see the comments and stuff now. So
Okay.
yeah.
So where do you want to start?
I don't know. So the last time we updated you, we had a diagnosis, and we had we met with the, I don't remember.
We hadn't started the treatment yet.
Yeah. But had we met with the oncologist yet?
I can't remember, to
I
be
know.
honest with you. I really can't.
That's why I was just gonna look back at the date.
We did do a
It was
written.
9/22, so I don't think
We
we
did
had.
do a written. I wrote up something.
Oh, an update
because,
because we didn't want to.
Yes, Tanya's father passed away
Yeah.
unexpectedly, and we just weren't ready to do another live. So I typed a little something up, and yeah.
So the last time we were live was September 22nd. So we had not met with the oncologist yet at that point, I don't think.
So we met with the what do you say it? Oncologist. And to be honest with you, we were thinking that we were probably going to go to Hershey Medical. We also had talked about going to Philadelphia. We know there's a real good one in New York City, and I wanted to get, the best treatment for my wife that I could, so I was looking into those places. We did some research and we talked to some people, and we thought that immunotherapy would be a good option because it seems to be getting good results along with the chemo. And when we went to Williamsport, that was the first thing that they said. So it kind of made us feel like we were where we needed to be. And to be honest, the people down there are amazing. They really are. They're kind, they're compassionate, they seem to be up on the latest things, and the doctor was really good to talk to. He listened to us, he was honest with us.
He let us ask a billion questions.
And even when, there was things that I kind of was thinking that maybe we should do, and he was kind of against it, but he wasn't a jerk about it. You know what I mean? He kind of said his opinion, and this and that, and I trust the guy, to be honest with you. So, and I think Tanya trusts him.
I do.
Well too. So
He kind of put me in my place the one time.
So he impressed us enough that we decided to go, and he wanted to start early, which we wanted to too. So
Yeah, I think we met with him on like a Wednesday, and we started treatment the following Tuesday. Pretty sure that's maybe how the thing
I think
went.
that's how it was. Yeah.
But there was two things that we wanted, or I wanted going into the appointment, and that was the immunotherapy, and I wanted to kind of like stretch it out, meaning like I didn't want to hit my body really hard in the beginning and then kind of like it not being able to recover. I wanted to kind of take it slow. So he immediately said immunotherapy and started talking to us about that, and we immediately said we've already researched it and we're on board with that. So he didn't have to go into a lot of the explanation that he probably had planned to. And then we are doing every 2 weeks, and it's going to be for 6 months. So
for 24 weeks. So
yeah, so that was a little shocking at first, based on some of the other people that I had talked to, that it was only more like a 90-day thing. But ours is like 6. I shouldn't say ours, mine. But and then we just really felt confident about him. We had heard good things about him. So that was on Wednesday.
And then he wanted us to get 4 different vaccinations. We decided just to go with, well, we talked to the doctor, our family doctor, and they didn't really want us to do 4 at a time. So she did do 2 of those, and we got those done. And then
well, we met with him on Wednesday, and
right.
then Thursday is when we got the call about my dad.
Yeah.
So it was very shocking, and
it was, I mean, it was tough for me. I got the call at school, and I didn't know if you had known or not. So I talked to Mr. Wells, and he, told me to go. So, so I did, and we met up at the site and where her father passed. And I just want to say that the pastors in our area are amazing. Up there we had our pastor, Pastor Sean, David Ayer and his wife, Denise, and Sean's
David
wife.
didn't make it. Denise did.
Well.
He came to the house later.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then one of the first responders was
right.
Taylor and Connor's pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So there was really 3 pastors, 4 really up there on the site, at the time. So
yeah, and
yeah.
And Tanya did her normal Tanya thing. She went into crisis mode and was making sure that everybody else was okay and was contacting people, and which scared me a little bit because I'm thinking she is going to break at some point, and I was worried that she was going to hold it off before she grieved at all. But she did a little bit here and there, and it was the one morning she started to break down, and it was tough because when she started crying, it hurt her chest so bad because of the lymph nodes and things like that. So that was tough because she wanted to give a good cry, but in the middle of it, it hurt a lot. So it was difficult.
Yeah.
So
then after that, I asked my mom if I should still go to the treatment on Tuesday, and she said, yes, please do. And we were holding off on the service because I had an uncle that was in Italy, and we have a lot of family downstate, and we wanted to make sure they could come up. So we held off the ceremony until the Saturday after, but that gave me time to go down and get the chemo. And then while we were getting the chemo, I told them that I was having trouble breathing. They did an x-ray. The very next day after chemo, I had my left lung drained, and they drained a liter.
So that was the same lung they drained before when they did the draining of the heart.
Yeah. And
it was a whole liter again. I'm going to be honest, I probably shouldn't have been in the room for it. I was, because there was a miscommunication of what we heard and what they had said, which lung it was. So they asked me to go just to make sure that they were okay with the lung that they were doing. And it was tough to watch, I'm going to be honest.
It was very painful.
It was painful when he put the needle in, but then when it got like towards the end where they were finishing the draining, you were having a hard time breathing, and I felt like a lung had collapsed. I mean, I've never seen this before, so it scared me bad. I thought I was going to go into a full panic mode, but I didn't. And they drained it. So, but we talked to him because she needed to get it poured in the next week, and we talked to him about the other lung, which he figured had probably at least a half a liter in that.
Yeah.
I was amazed at how much came out of the lung. A liter is a lot of liquid.
So that was Wednesday.
Right.
And then Thursday, we had an echocardiogram again at 8 a.m. in Wellsboro,
Right.
and another appointment at 11. So right after chemo, I had stuff going on both days. So by Thursday afternoon, I was exhausted in a way that I can't even explain. But that was the only symptom that I really had, was that extreme exhaustion on Thursday. And then, of course, Saturday was my dad's service. So by Saturday, I could actually breathe again, and I could cry without it hurting, because they had gotten all that fluid off my lung.
Off the left lung.
Yeah.
And you also started sleeping on your side again.
I started being able to lay down to sleep. So
instead of sitting
prior
in the
to
recliner.
that, I had been trying to sleep in a recliner for probably a good 2 weeks or 3.
Least, yeah.
And most nights I would only get 2 hours of sleep at a time, and then I'd wake up, and then I'd have to try to get back to sleep. So by the time they drained my left lung, I was able to actually lay down and sleep again. So I started getting more sleep and better sleep. We had my dad's service. Sunday we made the decision to move in with my mom for a little while, to give her, because my siblings were all there for the week that I was having chemo and stuff, to give her somebody to be there until she's ready. And
also, we thought it would be healthier for us. I mean, the little kids are here, and sometimes they carry a few more germs, and we thought that. And plus, Tanya, when she gets her treatment, she's got some bad chemicals in her, so you got to be careful with that too. So,
but having said all that, the next week then Wednesday, this past Wednesday, we went to get my port for that, and they were going to do the right lung at the same day. So we go in to do the port,
which
I was crying.
I
was crying because I knew it was going to hurt.
She was she got upset with me too, because
I did get a little short with Craig.
I'm going to be honest. I'm thinking the whole time, oh my gosh, this is going to hurt so bad, because I remembered the last time, so I was anticipating that, and then I was, just thinking about how. I mean, she wanted to go in and they said, hey, there's no fluid in the lung. That's what she wanted, you know what I mean? I was trying to be realistic, and I'd listened to the doctors, and, it's not going to, disappear that fast, you know what I mean? So I was trying to be realistic and wondering how I was going to, console her after she went through this pain again, and I wasn't going to be in there this time. So it was an emotional, and then it ended up being an hour later. They were backed up, so it was a lot. We did have a lady stop in, though. What was it?
God was gracious to us in the waiting time.
In the waiting time,
a chaplain stopped in and talked to us for a little bit.
So that distracted
her. Because we were literally
some.
just in a room for about 2.5 hours waiting for this surgery, and this anticipated lung drainage that we both were completely dreading. Right. So anyway, they finally take me back, and when Craig left, I just started crying, and the transport person said to me, what are you so upset about? And I said, well, I'm having this procedure and it's going to hurt. And he looked at my chart and he's like, oh, you have Dr. So-and-so. He's like, he's a really good doctor. And meantime, I was not convinced this doctor was a good doctor, but that eased me a little bit. So we get to the door and I'm still crying, and the nurse comes out that's going to be in the room with me, tries to console me. He went and got the doctor. So the doctor came out and he said, you know what, let's do the port first. Because all along I thought they were going to do the lung first. So he's like, let's do the port first. So the port, they just give you I was awake the whole time they did it. So it's a minor surgery, but I was awake, kind of like in the dentist chair. They gave me something to relax me, but I was talking to them and awake the whole time. So they get done with the port and they start wrapping up the stuff, and they say, can you sit up so we can do the lung? And I'm like, I think so. So I sat up, turned my legs to the side, and
get the cold gel
the doctor came out.
Right.
Once they got me sat up, and they were sure that I wasn't dizzy or anything. And he starts ultrasounding my back to look at my right lung before he starts the drain. And he's like, what'd you do? There's no fluid. And I'm like, what? And he's like, the fluid's gone. And I'm like, wait. And it was the same doctor that had done the other lung the week before. So he had seen how much fluid there was the week before. And then just as I said that, I said, well, maybe you better check the left one too while I'm here. And he checked the left one, and that one was completely clear too. So I did not have to have the right lung. And I literally said, that's an answer to prayer right in the room. I said, that's an answer to prayer. And so God graciously allowed me to not have to go through that procedure.
Because I got to the room
where
she was, and I walked in, and she's like, did you talk to the doctor? I was like, no. And then she's like...
Because normally the doctor will call when they're done the procedure and update the person driving you.
So then she said, well, the port went in well. And then I was like, oh, no, something else went wrong, or there's too much fluid or something. So I'm thinking all the bad things. Then she's like, the fluid was gone. They didn't have to drain it. And I started tearing up some. It just... I actually had lost some faith that could happen. I'll be honest with you, I did, because I was listening to what thinking what the doctors, had said it'd be a slow process and this and that. So it was amazing. It was almost a little bit euphoric, I will say, because I was so happy we didn't have to go through that. So
I was very happy. So the port is sore. I'm like bruised from that. So that's really the only thing going on right now. And then we have round 2 of treatment on Tuesday.
Right.
So we're counting it down. So after Tuesday, we'll have 10 more to go. Right now we have 11 to go.
One day closer to health. So
yes.
That's what we keep saying.
Yes.
One treatment closer to health. So.
Yep.
Yes.
So we are looking forward to 2 weeks of not having to run to 100 different appointments and having to do a bunch of stuff. But really the only thing that I've had related to the chemo and the immunotherapy is just tired, just being tired.
You did have some soreness in your hand a little bit. But... I did have some nerve things, but I stopped using my thumb to text, and now when I use my finger, it doesn't hurt as bad. You must...
I think I had a texting, what is that called?
Texting thumb or something like that?
Something. Yeah. I think that's what was going on. An overuse of my thumb a little bit. So, but a lot of you have messaged me or texted me or, sent me that you're praying for me, and we really appreciate that. I just want to say, and just words of encouragement have been amazing, or scriptures that people have sent. We get cards in the mail almost on a daily basis of either just get well or condolences or something. So that's really nice. So
it is.
It's been awesome. So I just want to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we went to church today. There were several people that, I don't know, I said something to them, and they're like, really? You're going to church? I'm like, yeah, we're going to church. And we had to greet, and we got to pray with some people, and I got to do transition, and it was nice to feel like normal life again a little bit.
Right.
So.
Well, that's what the doctor told. I mean, the one thing the doctor said is live your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's, if you feel like you can go to work, then go to work. If you, you know what I mean? And,
And I worked 4 days last week, so that's good. That, I got to get that in. I'm going to work tomorrow, and then off Tuesday, and we're going to, Wednesday and Thursday are kind of question marks at this point.
Yeah.
And see how I feel, if I feel strong enough to go or not.
Right.
I just don't know.
We're careful about washing hands, and I try to stay away from people. Like I was coaching on the football sideline with the varsity the other night. I wasn't really coaching, to be honest with you. I was spectating, just looking for a few things here and there. But I tried to keep my distance from
all the people that were coughing.
Most of the people, Actually,
so if you see us keeping our distance, it's more
just trying to, washing my hands regularly and trying not to be around, because a lot of the football players are coughing right now. So.
I'm at school. I have a little bottle of hand sanitizer right in my pocket. I just keep it with me, and
So we're trying to be cautious.
Yeah. So my immune. So if you see me out in public and you're not feeling well, just social distance from me. I would appreciate that. hopefully I don't have to get to the point where I have to wear a mask, but I might at some point feel the need to wear that. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. But
and we tried.
So far, I can tell you that I think the medical technology, the medical has come so far. I'm just amazed at some of the things that I've seen and experienced, and I'm just like amazed. So.
And I'm really pleased with Williamsport. I'm glad that.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought for sure that I'd want to go somewhere else and this and that, but once I got down there and talked to the doctor and, the nurses and the secretaries and stuff, they're just really, it's a good place. It really is. So we're pleased.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the update as of right now, you guys. As we've said before, we're kind of an open book and kind of tell you everything. I don't know if that's good or bad, or if you want to know. But that's kind of like...
You might want to look down through the comments.
That's what I was just checking the comments here. I had to refresh the screen to see.
But the service for her father was awesome. It was truly a celebration of life.
Yeah.
People did a great job speaking, and there's a lot of people there. A lot.
And if you have time and you want to listen to it, it is very inspiring. I think it's very inspiring.
Yeah, it's online.
It's online on New Life Church. Put it out online. So feel free to go listen to it. If you knew my dad, or if you just know us and you want to know what kind of person he is, it definitely comes across. So you're more than welcome to listen to it. Yeah, mostly just continued prayers, thinking of you.
Yeah.
What was it?
And we appreciate the prayers. I mean, the power of prayer is amazing, and we've been lucky. I shouldn't say we've been lucky. We've been fortunate to get God's blessing through this and to be able to see it, because I think a lot of times people get so caught up in the fear and everything that they miss the things that He's doing and putting forth, and it's just encouraging to us to see the little things that tells us that He's there and He's watching over us, and that obviously I think everybody would want to say, hey, you're instantly healed and it's over, you know what I mean? But there's He doesn't create these things. He's not the one that causes bad things to happen. But even if you're not instantly healed, He's still gonna be watching out through the process, and that's what we're finding. That's the things that we're noticing as we're going through this.
Yeah, I call it God's provision. Just like the lung thing in the very, very beginning, us like not canceling the echocardiogram. I felt like that was a God thing. And just like, so I usually when I pray for somebody, sometimes, especially if they're going through a really hard time, which classifies where we're at currently, I pray that God would open their eyes to see His provision, because it's there. It's just a lot of times you're so focused on the negative, or you're so focused on the issue that you're dealing with, you don't see His provision in your life, even though, walking you through. So I'm very, 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 very grateful that God has opened our eyes that we can see His provision even in these hard times, because it's there. And just like, in the Bible, I think it's Elijah prays over his servant and says, open his eyes and see the army standing around us. It's the same type of thing.
And it's always hard when a loved one goes on, but we know where he's at. You know what I mean? We know that he's in a better place. And what was really a blessing for me was I'm part of the family. I'm the son-in-law, but to see the kids come together around their mother and figure things out, and just make sure that she was okay, and each other were okay. It was, because some families, they don't have that. They don't have that closeness. They don't have the role models that set them up, let's say, to be able to do what they did in that time. And it's just a testament to Terry's life and to Marty's life and what they what they did for their children. So it was a blessing.
Yeah, and all the decisions that were made by the 6 of us. I was very adamant to make sure that everybody was on board, and that if anybody had any other ideas or options or anything else they wanted, that they had a voice. And I think that's important, because everybody has different things.
And again, I've said it before, but there's just something about the small town communities that it hits them harder in these critical situations, and they come to the plate and they help out, and whether it's emotionally, whether it's financially or physically, or it's amazing.
And at my dad's service, to see New Life Church, which held like 400 plus seats,
right?
People were standing out in the lobby. There was over 500, maybe even close to 600 people there. And I know there was more people that wanted to be there than that. But I didn't try to look back very often, but to look back and just to see the sea of people and to know that they were all there because they either cared about one of us or they cared about my dad. And most of them about my dad has been amazing. So, and then the outpouring since then of just like, we couldn't be there because we had this going on or that going on, but we wanted to be. So I think that's why it's great that it's available for you to watch online if you want to, because he was definitely an inspiration to a lot of people, and that comes through. Definitely.
And it was also special. I mean, I'm gonna be a little bit proud here. I had one boy speak and one boy sing at it, and I had another son with his wife there, and they've been supporting us in our time here at the house, and I'm just proud of all my kids. I really am. So, yeah.
Well, we've been talking for like a half an hour now.
Have we been talking that long? Okay, we probably should get off then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you. We'll update you when we can. And hopefully we have a nice quiet 2 weeks to kind of just see what this is all about. Mm-hmm. And kind of go from there. But
yeah.
Thank you again. And
yes.
If there's anything we can pray for you guys about, please shoot us a message. We would love to do that.
Right.
We prayed for a couple people at church today, and the one lady's like, what? Like she's like, wait a minute here. Why are you praying for us? And I'm like, no. I think when you're going through a hard time and you can actually like give to somebody else in the midst of your hard time. I said, it's so much more faith. Like it shows like, God, you are so faithful that I'm just going to like forget about my stuff and I'm going to focus on this other person and pray for them.
It's
and
therapeutic. I mean, it is.
It's therapeutic, but it's like,
right.
Yeah. It's also really good spiritual warfare.
Right.
So anyway, so if you would like prayer from us from anything, just let us know. We'd love to. All right. I think that's it.
That's it.
All right. I don't see any other comments, and I appreciate you all.
Right.
Bye.